New Fantastic Four trailer dropped today, this morning. It's actually the first thing I watched. Usually I'm scrolling on TikTok, getting brain rot. It looks like they might have cooked. I I think everybody was a little nervous, but not really, honestly. I mean,
Marvel recently, damn. I'm not the type of person to talk about Marvel, talk about the good old days, and goes, oh, before Endgame. Shh, bro, there were good projects after Endgame.
I didn't really love Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm not one of those people that loved it when it came out and then was like
This movie sucks.
a year later. I personally was very indifferent about it when it came out. I love Tom Holland. I love Andrew Garfield. And I love Tobey Maguire. I think they're all great Spider-Man. Just wasn't my cup of tea. But yeah, Ant-Man 3 wasn't good either. I thought Far From Home was a great movie. I actually think that Tom Holland's Spider-Man has a great trilogy. Again, I know I didn't really love the last one, but that's just because to me it didn't feel like a real movie. Which brings me to my point of this movie. Fantastic Four feels like a real movie. I think the issue with Marvel films and the reason why DC is about to really knock them out of the water is because when DC makes movies now, I really just mean James Gunn and Matt Reeves, um, they are making movies that feel like films. I hated when I was in college. Martin Scorsese had that quote about Marvel movies feeling like theme park rides. I didn't want to admit that he was right. The more these movies came out, the less substance they started to have.
If it wasn't for the strike and COVID, bro, I feel like they just would have been pushing out slop. Like there was literally a year, I don't remember what year, where we had new Marvel content, I think every month.
You know how insane that is? Like, you can't do that and think you're going to have both quality and quantity. There's no way. They just didn't make movies that, I don't know, could be their own thing. And I was never the person to go as far and go like, oh, every Marvel movie is a trailer for the next one. I don't agree with that. But the best Marvel movies, ones that people actually talk about, are like Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, Thor, Ragnarok. Let me just talk about those three. All three of those movies were seen as really good because they had flavor, they had a style to them. The issue with a movie like Captain Marvel, when that came out, people didn't like it. One, if you were fucking weird and just didn't like Brie Larson, I'm not talking to you, bro. Sorry, get help. That movie didn't have a lot of flavor to it. It didn't really have a lot of style. It felt kind of like half baked. And that's not the actor's fault. That's the script and that's the director's fault. I think those directors had only made one project since then, and it was like a pretty small film. Not taking anything away from them, but directing a blockbuster is a whole different beast. I feel like when you make a really great film that is a blockbuster, it needs to have a great score, director of photography that has a visual vision, really good story, something interesting. And Thor Ragnarok, think about that movie. You remember songs from that film or certain beats from that film because of music. Visually, one of the best Marvel movies to ever come out. And the story was simple. It was a shorter Marvel movie and it was good. Winter Soldier, same way. That opening of that movie sticks with everybody that watches it, bro. It felt different. The music of that film is probably my favorite in any Captain America movie. And what else? The story. Bucky and Cap's relationship. Oh, that's a good movie. Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't even see that movie in theaters when it came out. Everybody was saying it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. They just liked it because they thought it was a really good film. And what did that movie have? Great music, a great story, phenomenal visual storytelling. Marvel nowadays, or just on a lot of their other projects, they're like, we have to make it visually look some type of way, but the plot isn't really all there. Or the characters aren't really all there.
Like Ant-Man, I have never seen an Ant-Man movie in theaters except for Ant-Man 3. And I only went to see that because of Jonathan Majors. At that time, he was on top of the freaking world.
And I saw one of the best actors up and coming of our generation be kind of wasted. I felt like I genuinely thought he was the best part of that movie, and I love Paul Rudd and I love all the other actors in that film, but it just wasn't that good. But Fantastic Four, First Steps, looks like it's got a musical score by Michael Giacchino. Visually, it looks great. The CG for Ben is amazing. They didn't obviously go the practical route like the original films, but it looks good. We've only seen him a little bit, but you're able to get the emotion conveyed with his rock face, which is great. It looks like Johnny Storm is I don't want to say childlike in this movie, but he seems like he's having fun, but isn't he's not giving me like a playboy vibe like Chris Evans did back in the early 2000s. And it's still cool. It seems really interesting. The only guy who I got to see more of, my boy Pedro Pascal. I love Pedro. I think he's a phenomenal actor. He just wasn't my pick for Mr. Fantastic. But am I a casting director? Mm-mm. No. And I think he's a great actor. And sometimes you gotta let people cook. People didn't think Robert Pattinson was going to be a good Batman, and those fuckers were wrong. This movie has the potential to be really good, but the thing is, it doesn't look like a Marvel movie. It just looks like a good Fantastic Four film. It looks like a good movie. So I'm hoping it's great. I'm hoping they kind of reinvent the wheel. I think people are in a time economically where they're not going to just throw their money at anything. You have to give me something decent, or I'm not going to go see it. Um, and right now, I'm looking forward to throwing my money at DC with their new projects like Superman. That looks great. But yeah, I think this is the first steps Marvel needs to take towards a new MCU post James Gunn. It's like a BC. That's funny. Like, comment, subscribe, follow. Let me know. Are you excited for the Fantastic Four? Do you care? See you guys next time.